because of, and the one that might just save them, but to understand how beef can save a sport. We are going to
White girl running from the fade. That's not just a TikTok meme. It's a message. And Caitlin Clark, she just got tagged. The clip blew up, millions of views. Angel Reese didn't say a word.
To me. You're driving on the freeway. Be totally honest. If a skinny guy is in a car eating, he's got burgers.
She just reposted it. No caption, no context, just vibes and venom. And the WNBA, dead silent. Like they didn't just witness their most marketable star get meme dunked by the league's loudest rookie.
You're thinking to yourself, that guy's on the go. He doesn't have time to stop. That guy is a hustler. He is making things happen.
Okay.
A heavy-set guy in a car is...
People aren't ready to admit it, but this wasn't just pettiness. This was warfare. Here's what really happened. Caitlin Clark fouled Angel Reese. Nothing crazy. It's basketball. But when Caitlin turned and walked away, not even looking back, that moment turned into a viral meme. White girl running from the fade.
Is eating burgers. You're like, and I am too. Oh, really? You can't even drive without eating? I mean, give me a break. Like, what? What? You can't pull over. You have to. We have no idea about those two people. That is how people view weight. We're all weightists at times.
It's a joke, yeah, but it's also loaded, racially, culturally, symbolically, because Caitlin's not just another player, she's the face. The golden girl, the media darling. And Angel, she's been painted as the villain since day one. So when Angel reposted that meme, it wasn't just shade, it was a mic drop, a power move. And it told us something loud and clear. This rivalry isn't fake.
Men can hate each other. Jordan still holds a grudge against Isaiah.
It's not for clicks, it's real. And here's the twist. Angel didn't need to add commentary. The internet did that for her. Tweets, clips, reactions. Everyone picked a side, but the league? Crickets. Like they're afraid to admit what's really bubbling under the surface. Identity politics, fan base divides, and a league that's still trying to figure out who it wants to protect.
Somehow it makes him more likable.
Yeah.
Men can taunt, can trash talk. If Angel Reese appears to hate Caitlin Clark,
who it wants to promote. If you thought that post was just a petty repost, you're not paying attention, because what happens next might just tear the league in two. This isn't just a basketball rivalry, it's a full-blown cultural collision, and the league is stuck in the blast radius. People aren't ready to admit it, but the WNBA's biggest storyline isn't about wins or losses. It's about what happens when two completely different worlds, two different Americas, collide at center court. Because Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, they're not just hoopers, they're symbols. And the internet's treating this like a war of values, not a game. Caitlin Clark brings record-breaking numbers.
it becomes a race topic. It is outrageous. It is unfair. And I'm like, time out. Women athletes can hate rivals too.
Ice-cold jumpers and that Midwest humble aura the media loves to romanticize. She plays with precision, almost like the game is a symphony. Calculated, elegant.
It's not, to me, I'm like, is it race? Well, hate is
poetic. Angel Reese, she's fire, she's fight, she's full volume, unapologetic energy, and she knows it. She's not just playing the game, she's challenging the system while doing it. These two didn't just show up with beef. It started way back.
It used to be a commodity, like you loved when the Ryder Cup. And Angel Reese from the beginning is. The league was growing.
NCAA title game. Clark hit the John Cena, you can't see me. Reese returned the favor, with a side of attitude. And the reaction? Polarizing. Some called it swagger, others called it disrespect. But let's be real, if you're mad at Angel for clapping back, but quiet when Caitlin did it first, that's not about sports, that's about bias. And it runs deep. Now fast forward, the same tension is back, just bigger, louder, and more.
But she's Taylor Swift in tennis shoes. She's not, doesn't have to be the best player in the league. Taylor Swift doesn't have the best voice. Adele does. She doesn't have the best voice. Sure.
public than ever. The WNBA didn't just inherit a rivalry, it inherited a culture war. And fans are taking sides like it's the Super Bowl of identity politics. Caitlyn represents the polished media darling. Angel represents the raw, real internet generation, once taught to play nice. The other, taught to fight for space. So yeah, it's basketball. But it's also a battle over who gets to be loved for being loud. And trust the next chapter.
Sure. There's some visceral connection between young women, middle-aged women, and Taylor Swift that I can't explain. I'm usually good at listening to music or watching sports and going,
In this feud, it's only getting messier. One repost, no caption, and suddenly Caitlin Clark wasn't fearless. She was scared. People aren't ready to hear this, but TikTok didn't just twist the narrative, it set it on fire. A clean play turned into a viral drag. A silent moment became a symbol of weakness. And when Angel Reese hit that repost button, it wasn't just for laughs, it was a power move, and with culture-shifting consequences.
star. I didn't see it with Taylor Swift. There's been Lady Gaga I connected.
Let's rewind. Fourth quarter, Clark takes a hard foul, legal, physical, no taunt, no flop. She gets up, walks off. Business as usual, but on TikTok, that moment gets spun. Zoom in, slow-mo. Caption, she's scared far. Suddenly, the internet wasn't watching a foul, and it was watching a fall from grace. And Angel didn't post the clip, she reposted it. No words, no context, just vibes, and millions of eyeballs. But here's what people forget. When you're a face of the league, silence isn't neutral. Reposting isn't passive, it's endorsing.
There have been a lot of artists. Adele.
You a Katy Perry
the
guy?
first time I heard, when I heard Katy Perry, but like Adele.
And when a superstar like Angel boosts a meme like that, it's not just shade, it's strategy. Because in 2024, a viral TikTok carries more cultural weight than a press conference, but it goes deeper. The meme didn't just call Caitlyn scared, it coded her restraint as cowardice. It took composure and flipped it into submission.
Undermine the spirit and the emotion of the Indiana Fever. And they've done it with this whole racial argument, this whole Angel Reese deal, and the way the media, and the way they're demonizing Indiana Fever fans. And I saw a team that after one game.
The subtext? Black aggression versus white fragility. A tale as old as America. People laughed, but they also picked sides. This wasn't just internet trolling, it was meme warfare. And for the W, this is uncharted territory, where a TikTok soundbite hits harder than a flagrant. So when restraint gets rebranded as fear, and silence turns into violence, you have to ask, is the WNBA ready for the era of viral vendettas? Because this was just the first shot. Coaches get fined for breathing wrong. Fans get investigated for shouting too loud, but a racially loaded meme aimed at the league's golden girl?
Had an emotional letdown because it's like, look at this headache. We've put this great team together. We're playing with joy. We win a game by 35 points. And the whole conversation afterwards is about Indiana Fever fans are racist and Caitlin Clark fans are racist and Angel Reese is a victim.
Silence. This isn't just selective enforcement, it's double standards in broad daylight. People aren't ready to hear this, but the WNBA doesn't have a discipline problem, it has a priorities problem. Because when Caitlin Clark became the target, the league suddenly forgot how to speak. Let's lay out the receipts. Coaches have been fined thousands for daring to criticize officiating. Players have been slapped with warnings for minor social media jabs. Even fans have faced investigations for heckling from the stands. The message has always been clear, step out of line and you'll feel it. But then Angel Reese reposts a meme, mocking Caitlin Clark, the WNBA's biggest draw, laced with coded language that hits racial nerves.
And it felt like to me watching them last night, they were like, man, we're just one game in. There's 43 more to go. I find the narrative around the WNBA fascinating. The Fever played their second game last night against the Atlanta Dream, and they lost by 1 point. And should have called a timeout on Indiana's last possession and figured out a way to get a better shot than this Natasha Howard, who they acquired during the offseason.
Across the country, And the league? Nothing. No fine, no warning, not even a vague statement about sportsmanship. Bobby Barack from Outkick reached out for comment. The WNBA declined. And in doing so, they didn't just stay neutral, they made a choice. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. If the roles were reversed, if a white player had mocked a black star with a racially charged meme, would we still hear crickets? Would the league still play dumb? Or would the response be swift, loud, and headline grabbing? This isn't about protecting Caitlin Clark. It's about consistency. It's about whether rules apply across the board, or only when the outrage fits the narrative.
Power forward or frontline player. She was awful last night, and I think been not very good in the first two games. DeWanna Bonner, third all-time leading scorer in the WNBA. She's played in the WNBA for 14 years. She's been terrible the first two games and was really bad last night. Only played like 13, 14 minutes. And so I'm like, this team looks like hot garbage. Brittany Griner was getting anything she wanted in the low post. The Fever was. They came out flat. Their energy, they're playing at home. I thought the crowd was a bit flat, and I thought the Fever were a bit flat. And this is where I'll connect it all to where I started the show with this Angel.
So the real question isn't whether Angel Reese broke a rule. It's why the league suddenly stopped caring about rules at all. Or maybe they only care when the target isn't white. Stick around, because this rabbit hole goes deeper than you think. Imagine Caitlin Clark posting a meme that says, "Black girl can't handle the smoke." Yeah. We'd be at DEFCON 1 in under 5 minutes. Let's be real, the league would have hit the panic button so fast it'd break. ESPN would cancel programming to run a 24-hour think piece marathon. Endorsement deals, gone. Press conference, scheduled, statement, already drafted by legal. But when it's flipped, when it's Angel mocking Caitlin, suddenly it's just friendly. Rivalry. Here's what people aren't ready to admit. If the roles were reversed, this wouldn't be a meme. It'd be a meltdown. The league's front office would hold an emergency Zoom call before sunrise. Nike would drop a "we do not tolerate hate" tweet faster than you can say damage control. The hashtags would be trending before breakfast. And Caitlin, she'd be forced to reflect, apologize, and listen and learn. But when Angel Reese posts that meme, the energy shifts. Suddenly we're told to chill, to laugh it off, that it's just trash talk.
This Angel Reese deal. It's like, hey, there's a plot to undermine the spirit and the emotion of the Indiana Fever. And they've done it with this whole racial argument, this whole Angel Reese deal, and the way the media, and the way they're demonizing Indiana Fever fans. And I saw a team that after one game,
we hear crickets from the same league that claims zero tolerance for hate. So let's call it what it is. Racism is racism, no matter who it's coming from. Inclusivity isn't real if it only works one way. You don't get to wear equity on a t-shirt and then play favorites when the smoke gets uncomfortable. The WNBA wants to build a league of strong women standing on equal ground. But when silence shows up dressed as strategy, what you're really doing is choosing which voices get protected. So here's the question the league won't answer. Would Caitlin Clark survive what Angel Reese just pulled? Or would the whole, blow up before the next tip-off? Stay locked in, because what comes next might just flip the narrative for good. You don't have to like Caitlin Clark, but you can't argue with the numbers, and the numbers are loud. She's not just a rookie, and she's a walking economic boom. Ticket prices tripled, jersey sales gone in seconds, viewership shattered records. So why is the face of the league being treated like it's punching bag? Let's pull receipts, because facts don't fold under pressure.
A hole like that in this league, like it's tough. I thought we had a bad start to the game. I thought we had a bad start to this.
Caitlin Clark's debut didn't just make noise, it redefined the WNBA's ceiling. Indiana Fever home games, selling out arenas they couldn't fill before. Road games, full houses in cities that used to sleep on women's hoops. Her jersey, a 1 in the league, before she even played a full quarter. And viewership, let's just say ESPN owes her a thank you card. This isn't hype, it's hard data. This is the Caitlin Clark effect. But here's where things get uncomfortable. Why is the league allowing its golden goose to be humiliated, shoved, and clowned with memes? Why is her success met with smoke instead of support? Now, don't get It twisted. Angel Reese is also a force. She's electric. She's magnetic. She brought millions of fans to the women's game, and she knows her power. But when you've got that platform, what you repost, what you say, it carries weight. It shapes narratives. It fuels division. It tells every young fan watching, this is how we treat the ones who rise too fast.
Because of one beef. And I think that might be the most important beef in WNBA history and the one that might just save them. But to understand how beef can save a sport.
Confidence is a weapon, but so is carelessness. You can be iconic without being inflammatory. And in a league that finally has the spotlight, the last thing it needs is self-inflicted wounds. So here's the question. When the WNBA finally has the eyes of the world, why does it feel like it's tripping over its own moment? Because what comes next might decide how long this spotlight lasts. The league is divided, but online, it's pure chaos. Reddit's on fire, TikTok's unhinged, YouTube comments are writing essays, the Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese debate. It's no longer just basketball, it's a cultural war zone, and the internet is not holding back. Let's just say, the takes are scorching. One viral TikTok said, Clark's composure is elite. That's what leadership looks like. Meanwhile, another comment popped off with, if the roles were reversed, she'd be canceled by lunchtime. Fans are treating post-game moments like their Oscar performances, and every stare, shrug, or tweet is getting dissected frame by frame. Over on Reddit, someone dropped, Angel Reese is giving Ja Morant energy lately. Another clapped back with, y'all want her to shrink because she's confident? Nah, let her cook. And then there's that corner of TikTok claiming, restraint is a weakness. Apparently Caitlin Clark should have squared up at half court because sportsmanship is now considered soft. But let's not pretend this is one-sided. Angel's got an army behind her too, and they're loud. They're saying she's being villainized for the same fire that male athletes get praised for. They see double standards, and they're not wrong for pointing it out. Still, there's something about the energy online that feels off. Everyone's fighting for a W, but no one's asking why this rivalry got this toxic in the first place. Because this ain't just banter, it's revealing what fans really think about race, fame, confidence, and femininity in sports. So who's actually winning here? The players or the platforms feeding the drama? Because this fan base is on fire and we haven't even hit mid-season. Stick around, it only gets messier from here. The WNBA loves to preach progress, but when the spotlight turns harsh, suddenly the silence is deafening.
You know, we weren't really helping one another out. We played like 5 individuals defensively at times instead of collectively as a unit. We dug ourselves a hole. We didn't take care of the ball. We didn't handle their physicality. I mean, that's going to be the MO against us all year long.
This league built its brand on values, equality, empowerment, speaking truth to power. But when those values get uncomfortable, the same voices go quiet. Fans aren't stupid. They see the double standards. And the question is loud. Is this real progress or just curated PR? The WNBA has positioned itself as the moral compass of professional sports. Black Lives Matter jerseys, Pride Night activations, player empowerment front and center. But here's the uncomfortable truth. When the conflict isn't easy to package, the leadership folds. Case in point, the recent media storm swirling around Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Where was the commissioner's voice when the fan base fractured in two? When Clark got praise for poise and Reese got labeled classless for the exact same energy? Where was the league that claims to support all women? Because staying silent to protect brand image isn't neutrality, it's complicity. You don't get to wave the flag of progress while ignoring the fire burning in your own house. You don't get to tweet support for women of color while letting them take the hits alone. You don't get to post rainbow logos one day and ghost your players the next. Real leadership means stepping up, especially when it's uncomfortable. When the optics aren't clean, when the headlines are messy, when the internet's split in half. If the WNBA wants to be the face of change, then act like it, because performative politics won't cut it anymore. Not with this generation. Not with this moment. So here's the question no one at the top seems ready to answer. If this is how the league reacts when its values are tested, what else are they quietly letting slide? She doesn't need the spotlight, no viral moments. No drama, just pure, unfiltered domination. People aren't ready to hear this, but Caitlin Clark isn't just a highlight reel. She's the WNBA's future. While the league gets distracted by noise, she's quietly rewriting the playbook. The Double standards? The unfair shade? That doesn't shake her. And honestly, that's exactly why she's untouchable. Caitlin Clark shows up and does what legends do. Let the game speak for itself. No loud podcasts, no social media spats, no need for clout chasing. She's laser focused, hitting buckets with surgical precision, dropping triple doubles like it's routine. In a league where some players get props for off-court antics or personality, Clark's weapon is relentless skill and unbreakable focus. This isn't just basketball, it's a statement. The WNBA's future isn't about who's the loudest in the room. It's about who dominates when the lights are brightest. Clark is that player. She's grinding through the noise, proving that excellence isn't always flashy. It's consistent, and here's the kicker. Fans exhausted by the drama, tired of double standards, should stand with Clark. She's the quiet storm the WNBA needs. Fierce, focused, and unstoppable. So if you're done with the drama and ready to back real talent, comment below, I stand with CC. Because in a league full of noise, maybe the quietest player is the loudest message of all.